Let's talk about a brand new album from Germany. What do y'all say?
No.
Absolutely. Oh, okay.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
go fuck myself. All good.
Go for
For
it.
those unaware, we interviewed a little German band not too long ago by the names of Torrential Rain, and we got access to their album early. And today, that album is out.
Torrential Rain have dropped their newest album, Digital Dreams.
Now, this is
I'm sorry,
Metalcore.
I'm sorry, I should say this is their best album.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, given that I've only heard one album,
Just
yeah,
this
I'd
one.
say this is the best. This is best one of one. Best one of one.
Fair. Derek, you seem to be the highest on this. What's your thoughts on it?
Dude, I think this is like the future of metalcore, but in a separate way from bands that are doing like different aspects of it, like Northlane, or maybe artists that are pushing the envelope like Bad Omens and Bring Me. I think it's like we hit the singularity in like 2020, 2021, and now metalcore is like the future of it is pathing out and like branching out into different paths. And this is like the future of prog metalcore. I think that this should be the type of sound that all progressive metalcore bands should try and gravitate towards, at least for my personal taste. Just with how intricate but melodic so many of the instruments and your instrumental sections are, and especially like the riffs, the incorporation of electronics, the way that it's mixed. I would classify them in like the same conversation as a Dreamwake, where they're taking more of a, we'll say, sometimes generic metalcore structure, sometimes progressive metalcore structure, but they're making it flow and working the instruments in such a way that it makes longer songs seem shorter but compelling to listen to throughout. I think, and I know this has been a complaint from I think everybody here about Era, and it's that some of their songs sound a little samey, and it's like listening to
exactly what I want to say, dude. I think this album is diverse. I think that's the word I want to use. Every song, even within a song, there's some variation. It doesn't leave me like, oh, I'm listening to the same thing over and over. It keeps you interested the whole time.
That's a hard thing to do, because this album is,
especially in like metalcore.
Yeah. One for metalcore bands.
A long 12-track metalcore album too.
Yeah, because it's what, an hour almost?
Just shy of an hour.
Yeah, that's it doesn't feel like an hour at all. I remember, I think about like even Era's Deluxe album, to be honest, but even like a band, I would almost, I'm gonna pull out a comparison. I want to see if you guys agree that I almost look at this in the same way that I do a Starset album.
Okay.
In terms of it's longer, but if you're on the journey, then it doesn't feel as long. I think.
You know what's weird is I've been going through Starset's discography like the past few days, like just because they announced that tour, and it sounded like it's the final tour. I don't know exactly what it is. Anyway, this isn't about Starset. But yeah, I agree. It's like it's a journey. It's meant to be heard as an album as opposed to singles.
For sure. I'm a little, I don't know how to feel about this, because I think I almost want to say that some of these songs, I love them on the album, but if they were like individually on a playlist, I might skip them every once in a while. And I think it's just
I can definitely
because
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. the album makes you invested in this sound. So even with all like Jacob was saying, the diversity, like you still feel a cohesion with it. So when you're in, like you're strapped in and along for the ride. So for anybody who checked the singles out and wasn't necessarily as high on them individually, I would say definitely still give this album a try, because you're going to find a lot to like in even just sections of the individual songs, let alone songs themselves. And like, what was Count on You, I think, is the biggest example of this for me, because like I have it in my playlist because I really like it, but there are times where I'm like, I'm not feeling this. But if I'm listening to the album, like I'm never in a million years considering skipping it, because you're 2 tracks in at that point, about 9 minutes, and you're like invested in what the album has to offer.
Though that type of song for me on this album would be Eye to Eye, track 10.
Mine was Lighthouse.
Like if Eye to Eye was a single in the same way as, like if Eye to Eye was the lead single, I probably wouldn't have added it to my playlist. But in the album, it like by track 10, like I'm committed, you know.
It also feels like almost like an awakening, almost, because like if this was a short album, I think Lighthouse would have been probably like a good kind of like semi closer. But I feel like Eye to Eye just brings that energy back, where like in a longer form project, it would be harder to keep attention to.
I also totally am thinking of the wrong song now that I say that, because Count on You, I think, is a top 3 song on this album, so my bad. I think I was thinking of Digital Dreams. Digital Dreams is the one that I was thinking of. I don't... because
Digital Dreams is the super heavy pissed off one.
That's interesting, because I think that's like the one song that I would disagree. Like I could put that in a playlist and I'd be like...
Well, don't get me wrong. I got it playlisted. But I guess proggy metalcore like this or before this has a tendency to not be really playlistable, but I feel like some of these really shine in a way that no other band in the genre is doing. Like, I honestly think this is probably the most... It's like it's safe, but it's forward thinking at the same time. I don't really know like how to describe it.
It's easy for like a metalcore fan to access, but also pushes the genre.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll agree with that.
It's just there's so many things here that like I would hear in an era song. And I think you were talking about it too. It clicked for me the other day with Eporia and Snowblood. They really do sound like
they
really
sound
similar.
very similar.
But like I don't know, it's those same elements that you would get from a Snowblood or whatever, but there's the signature electronic Torrential Rain touch to it, and this masterful guitar work. I think every instrument on here just has a chance to shine and flourish. You know me, I'm a sucker for guitar solos. The guitar solo on Wanderers is like chef's kiss, but
I agree. That one's also really good.
Yeah, Wanderers probably my favorite non-single on this album.
I gotta give it to The Closer.
That was gonna be my second one. That was gonna be my second one.
You know what I thought was, or a similarity I drew was, maybe Justin will get this. It sounds a lot like the sound you hear in the new Legend of Zelda game when you're near Gloom. Maybe no.
Bro named after Pokemon. What is going on here?
We're Pokemon players, not Zelda players.
It's been a while since I've played that game,
like,
but I think I remember it.
Haunting kind of.
That kind of low, almost like theremin sound. Yeah, and probably.
Mona, I'm gonna butcher this name. Monachopsis. Monachopsis.
Monachopsis. What the hell does this even mean? Let's find out.
It means the subtle but persistent feeling of being out of place, which I think this song does wonderfully, and it's perfect.
That's a mood and a half.
It's just unsettling, and it's awesome.
It is a good song. I think all this album's great. Well, like I didn't playlist most of this, or I probably not gonna listen to most of this after the bad, because the like a lot of the heavier stuff is not something I listen to day in and day out. Like some of the lighter stuff like Lighthouse, Wanderers, Count on You, even Second Chances, I think I would probably keep in a constant rotation.
One thing that I'm excited for, that the release date, well, with it coming out now, is we haven't gotten a chance to look at lyrics, right?
Right.
And I guess I didn't talk about, but you guys talked about the what's the word? Idea behind the album with Chris, and I'm very excited to dive into that once we get official lyrics. If we do, I hope we do.
Surely. Maybe I'll have to order. I'll take matters in my own hands. I'll order a CD from the Europe store.
Well, you could just transcribe them yourself, but that's too much work.
That is a lot of effort, man. I'm not gonna.
That is a lot of effort.
That is a job for somebody else who likes to go on Genius.com a lot and like in their free time puts the lyrics up for me. I need.
Look, they got to get them genius points, whatever they're called.
Genius points. They got to hit the GP.
I think there's two tracks we haven't really mentioned at all yet. Both in the middle, Meant to Be and Faults Are Thick Where Love Is Thin. Meant to Be has a really catchy chorus. I really enjoyed that one. And Faults Are Thick Where Love Is Thin had really interesting electronic lead-in, which caught me off guard. I was really caught off at first, and I still don't know if I love it, but I think it'll grow on me the more I listen to this album as a whole. It definitely feels like one of the most unique songs on the album, I would say.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, I wasn't sure about Fountain of Youth as an opener, having heard it as a single, but I think it works really well. Just that the dream what I used to dream bit as it really it just kicks off the album as it should as an opener. I really like it a lot. I wasn't expecting to. I'm always skeptical when they drop the opener as a single. There's some bands this year who have done that, who were not quite as successful, but I digress. Can't hold a candle to fucking Machop, the closer, or whatever, however you pronounce that again.
Machop?
Machop.
What did Machop do?
I forgot some of the letters there. I saw M in the middle of the word.
Pokemon earlier. You got to fucking Machop spitting lyrics.
I want to learn how to pronounce this word, dude.
Is it Monocopsis? That sounds right.
That sounds
Monocopsis, yeah.
Monocopsis. I'm calling it Machop. Fuck it, we lost.
Words that sound really cool that I'm never going to use ever again in my daily life. That one.
Good luck. Oh yeah, I'm feeling such an intense feeling of Monocopsis right now. They're gonna look at me like, what the fuck?
I don't know if there's too much more to say on this album, unless you guys have anything else you haven't touched on. But I feel like we've touched on pretty much every song here, and just generally what we think of this album. So,
oh yeah, it's super good. And Torrential Rain and knocked out of the park.
We finally got a good metalcore record this year, guys.
It took literally forever. I honestly don't know if there are any others in my top 20. I lied. There's one.
Yeah, I know.
I need 2024 to. There are a couple actually. I lied. Wow, I can't believe I forgot. Yeah, never mind. Retract that statement. But
the point being that this was a weaker year for metalcore, and Torrential Rain is standing out.
Coming in clutch in the last month, really, of consideration for albums or anything. This is a damn good album. I guarantee this band's gonna blow up with what we talked about with Chris.
They've already been blowing up a little bit.
Really?
I think they've grown in monthly listeners a bit, haven't they?
Oh shit! Yeah, I think they were at 21,000 at the time of the interview. They're at 30,000 now.
I'm good on them.
Which is what? Maybe half their monthly. Yeah, damn. Wow. Yeah, this band's pushing the envelope in a great direction for sure. I'm very excited to see not only have this album finally to listen to on Spotify, so I don't have to go on SoundCloud, but also just to see in like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years exactly where the band goes, because it feels like they're very on top of current sounds, but also finding ways to incorporate their own twist on it. Like they're going to be a band and name to look out for sure. Don't sleep. Listen to this album. Get on the hype train while you can.
If you enjoyed us bitching about this album and talking about the high points, go check out our After Hours with Chris from Torrential Rain as well.
Yes.
And,
if you don't like me, go watch that video.
It was a really good discussion, and the band's great, so go check that out.